MI न्यूज़ टीवी हर खबर सबसे पहले।
Sanyal deliberated on is not really exactly what are the reforms that have been undertaken over the past years. Some have been instrumented by him, but actually on two very important things: that how to do those reforms. I mean, what are the aspects that one needs to think about, and more broadly, that why such reforms and what could be the major points if we want to design such reforms for the future. So, the most important learning from him is that everything has a process. So, if we are thinking of reforming a process, the fundamental understanding of how the process works, where it may not work well, why, and what are the aspects, small things, not really very dramatic, overnight changing things, but how with those apparently small, but very meaningful interventions, you can actually create a big transformation without making a system unstable. And he gave examples of many situations, many countries who were doing economically and even technologically exceptionally well. But because of, I think, the lack of holistic approach of assimilating all the aspects that come along with reform, what happened is that they possibly became unstable and their reforms collapsed. So the idea is, like, he was speaking more like, although by training an economist and he has served in economics, policy, and every aspect, be it from shipbuilding to GST, what and what not, many aspects where he has actually worked on. But more so, he was connecting the dots in a way in which a systems thinker would think, that it is not isolated one particular thing. There is a system which has connections of many different dots. Dots together build up a unity. And how to have that particular systems thinking to realize, number one, why reform is needed. For everything, reform may not be needed. And if reform is needed, what is the art of doing the reform so that the reform is done, but it does not disrupt or make the system unstable. And he gave directions on certain priorities: the future of education, the future of learning overall. It's not just education within the universities, but the future of learning, the art of being positive, which is very important, and how that human culture and very personalized approach of looking into reforms, or as a matter of fact any activity, that culture of reform, which is equally important if not more as compared to possibly the science or economics of reform, and how we can embed that into what we have as our great advantages. We have great youth, we have great digital, you can say, asset overall, and very aspiring people. As Bengal, we are also a very promising state which has previously given birth to many different so-called reformers in their own subjects. But we have lost progress or lost track from somewhere. And he gave us good insights of how to build up a new system where we bring in apparently disconnected approaches which are not traditionally what is taught in economics or management, but how we can bring them all together and then build up a platform based on which we not only just undertake reforms, but we have a full control on the art, science, and management of reforms. If we can do that, and if we can go ahead with all the directions that he provided, I think that we are definitely going to have an exciting journey ahead. IIT Kharagpur point of view, we are in our Platinum Jubilee year, and we aspire to contribute not just as followers but leaders in actually making us a consequential university through certain reforms, but not reforms for the sake of reforms. How we should think about going for such reforms. That was the primary insight that he provided. I can tell on behalf of the institute that it was immensely engaging and fruitful, not just for us who are in the institutional leadership position, but also the youngest of the students, and not just students from IIT Kharagpur. This is our research park at Kolkata. So students and professionals from many different places, and possibly they are currently at Kolkata, maybe transiting through Kolkata or staying at Kolkata. Many such people, they gathered and listened to his deliberations, and I think overall it has been a great learning, and I believe that it is one of the great starts that we are having in our Platinum Jubilee lecture series.
And sir, what will you urge to the government of Bengal to grow the economy of Bengal, sir?
I am not an expert in sort of proposing the government of Bengal or anything about the economy of Bengal, but what I can say is that in bits and pieces we have all the great ingredients. We have the innovative mindset, that is our, what I would say as the asset of minds. Great minds are in Bengal.
Yeah.
We also have technology. We also have people who are great visionaries, and we have people who have goodwill to create transformations on the ground. We have great aspirants who are in search of their livelihood, and these aspirants are not just people who are aspirants to become very rich. Aspirants who are at the grassroots and looking for opportunities. And if we can combine all the aspirations and give a direction with certain reforms, possibly the way in which Sri Sanyal pointed out, and IIT Kharagpur works hand in hand with the government of West Bengal to make that happen, I think we are towards a very bright future of West Bengal and towards the revival of the glory of Bengal, for which we were proud once upon a time.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.